I've always wondered, what is the highest ancient village in the world?
How did ancient people survive there?
Today, we're visiting one of the most isolated places on Earth.
In a world where mountains are often seen as barriers, there exists a land where they become life itself. A place so high, so silent, and so extreme that even time seems to move differently here. What would it feel like to survive where oxygen is thin? Winters freeze rivers into solid roads, and villages disappear under snow for months. And how does human life not just survive, but adapt, endure, and continue generation after generation in such conditions? There are places on Earth where modern comfort never fully arrives, where electricity flickers like a guest rather than a guarantee, and where nature still writes the rules. Could you imagine waking up every morning surrounded by barren peaks that look lifeless, yet somehow sustain entire communities? What kind of strength does it take to call such a place home? Here, the wind doesn't just blow, it speaks. The silence is not empty, it is heavy, meaningful, and endless. Every path, every valley, every settlement carries stories older than recorded history, shaped by isolation and survival. And then there is a land where all of this comes together in one of the most extreme yet beautiful environments on Earth, Ladakh. Ladakh lies in the northernmost region of India, nestled between the mighty Karakoram and Himalayan mountain ranges. Often called the land of high passes, it is a cold desert where vast landscapes stretch endlessly, painted in shades of brown, grey, and white. Despite its harsh appearance, Ladakh holds a rare and quiet beauty that feels untouched by time. The region is defined by extreme geography. Towering mountains block moisture, creating a desert that receives very little rainfall. Yet within this dry terrain flow life-giving rivers like the Indus, which carve deep valleys and support scattered settlements. At altitudes often exceeding 10,000 feet, oxygen is low, temperatures drop drastically, and winters can reach levels that test the limits of human endurance. Historically, Ladakh has been a crossroads of cultures and trade. Ancient caravans once passed through its high mountain passes, connecting India with Central Asia and Tibet. These routes brought not only goods, but also ideas, religions, and traditions that still shape Ladakh's identity today. Over centuries, its people developed a unique way of life, deeply connected to nature, spirituality, and community survival. Monasteries stand on rocky cliffs, Prayer flags move with the wind, and villages exist in quiet harmony with the mountains. This is not just a land of geography. It is a living story of resilience, adaptation, and extraordinary human endurance. Long before borders were drawn on maps, Ladakh existed as a passage, a silent corridor between civilizations. Archaeological evidence suggests that humans have been moving through this region for thousands of years, leaving behind rock carvings and traces of early settlements that date back nearly 9,000 years. In its earliest days, Ladakh was inhabited by nomadic tribes, yak herders and small communities who settled along the Indus River, drawn by its life-sustaining waters. Over time, different groups arrived: Mons from India, Dards from the west, and Tibetan settlers from the east, each leaving a cultural imprint that slowly shaped Ladakh's identity. The true transformation began in the 9th century, when a Tibetan prince, Nima established the first known dynasty in Ladakh. This marked the beginning of a structured kingdom, where Buddhism began to flourish and monasteries rose across the mountains. By the 16th and 17th centuries, Ladakh reached a period of strength under King Senga Namgyal, who expanded the kingdom and established Leh as its capital. Trade routes connecting Central Asia, Tibet, and India passed through Ladakh, turning it into a vital link between worlds. But this stability did not last forever. In the 19th century, Ladakh was annexed by the Dogra rulers of Jammu, shifting its independence into external control. In modern times, after decades as part of Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh was officially declared a separate union territory of India in 2019, marking yet another turning point in its long and layered history. From ancient pathways to political transformations, Ladakh's history is not a straight line, but a series of adaptations shaped by geography, belief, and the constant movement of people across its rugged land. Survival in Ladakh is not defined by convenience, but by effort, daily, physical, and deeply connected to the land. In a region where modern resources remain limited in many villages, traditional practices still shape everyday life. Women in Ladakh play a central role in sustaining both household and community life. In a region where survival depends on collective effort, they manage farming, livestock care, and food preservation alongside daily domestic responsibilities. During harvest season, women actively participate in cutting crops, threshing grain, and storing food for the long winter months. Beyond physical work, women are the backbone of Ladakhi households, maintaining warmth and stability during months of isolation. Despite harsh conditions, their lives reflect strength, resilience, and a deep connection to tradition passed down through generations. Agriculture here is short-lived, restricted to a brief summer window. Once crops like barley and wheat are harvested, threshing is often done by hand. Families gather in open fields, beating the grain carefully to separate it from the husk, a process that demands time, patience, and coordination. Livestock plays an equally vital role. Goats, sheep, and yaks are not just animals, but lifelines. During warmer months, herders lead them across high-altitude pastures, constantly searching for sparse patches of grass. This grazing is essential, as it ensures food supply through milk, meat, and wool. Milk extraction is a daily routine, carried out in the early hours of the morning. From it, butter, cheese, and traditional products like curd are prepared, foods that provide both nutrition and energy in extreme conditions. Nothing here is wasted. Dung from animals is collected and dried, becoming a crucial source of fuel during freezing winters. In Ladakh, survival is not about abundance, it is about balance, using what the land offers, preserving it carefully, and enduring together through conditions that leave no room for excess. Ladakh's weather is one of its greatest challenges, extreme, unpredictable, and often unforgiving. Sitting at a high altitude, the region experiences a cold desert climate, where temperatures vary drastically between seasons and even between day and night. In winter, temperatures can drop as low as -20 to -30 degrees Celsius, especially in remote villages. Rivers freeze, roads become inaccessible, and entire regions remain cut off for months. Life slows down, but it does not stop. People prepare in advance, storing food, drying vegetables, and insulating their homes to survive the long, harsh winter. Water sources freeze, making even basic tasks difficult. Thick woolen clothing and layered garments become essential for survival. Despite these conditions, daily life continues with quiet resilience. In Ladakh, winter is not just a season, it is a test of endurance, where survival depends on preparation, community, and the ability to adapt to nature at its most extreme. The ancient lifestyle of Ladakh is built on simplicity, necessity, and a deep understanding of nature. In a land where resources are scarce and the environment is unforgiving, every aspect of life has evolved to serve a purpose. Handmade products are another defining feature of Ladakhi life. Wool from sheep and goats is spun into yarn and woven into warm clothing, blankets, and carpets. Every household participates in this process, ensuring self-reliance. Tools, utensils, and even homes are often built using locally available materials like mud, stone, and wood. In Ladakh, tradition is not a choice, it is a way of surviving, passed down through generations. The culture here is deeply rooted in community, where festivals, music, and traditional dances bring warmth to an otherwise harsh environment. Seasonal celebrations mark harvests and religious events, giving people moments of joy after months of hard work. Clothing, often handmade from wool, reflects both necessity and tradition. Hospitality is simple but sincere, as visitors are welcomed with tea and quiet generosity. In Ladakh, culture is not performed. It is lived daily, shaped by the land and carried forward through generations. Religion in Ladakh is not separate from life. It is woven into it. Predominantly influenced by Tibetan Buddhism, spiritual practices guide daily routines, from morning prayers to small rituals performed inside homes. Prayer flags flutter across mountains, carrying wishes with the wind, while prayer wheels spin quietly in villages. Faith here is calm and grounded, offering strength in isolation and harsh conditions. It teaches balance, patience, and acceptance, values essential for survival in such an extreme environment. In Ladakh, religion is less about grand ceremonies and more about a quiet connection between people, nature, and belief. Rising silently above valleys and carved into rugged mountainsides, monasteries in Ladakh are more than places of worship. They are the soul of the region. Built in remote, elevated locations, they reflect a deep connection between spirituality and the natural world. For centuries, these monasteries have served as centers of learning, meditation, and community life. Among the most well-known is Hemis Monastery, the largest in Ladakh, famous for its annual festival and vibrant, masked dances. Thixi Monastery, often compared to the Patala Palace of Tibet, stands in layers overlooking the Indus Valley, while Diskit Monastery in Nubra Valley is known for its towering statue and peaceful surroundings. Inside these monasteries, time moves differently. Monks follow disciplined routines of prayer and study, preserving ancient teachings and traditions. Walls are adorned with detailed murals, and the sound of chanting echoes through the halls. In a land defined by isolation and harsh conditions, monasteries offer not just spiritual guidance, but a sense of continuity, standing strong through centuries, just like Ladakh itself. Ladakh is not just a geographical region. It is a living example of how human life adapts to extremes. From its ancient history, shaped by movement and isolation, to its present identity influenced by both tradition and change, Ladakh stands as a land where survival and simplicity define existence. Every part of life here is connected to the environment. The harsh winters, freezing temperatures, and thin air have shaped not only the landscape, but also the people, their culture, and their way of thinking. Whether it is farming with yaks, using dung as fuel, or handcrafting daily necessities, everything reflects balance with nature, rather than control over it. The monasteries standing on mountain ridges remind us that spirituality has been a guiding force for centuries. Meanwhile, the role of women, the strength of local communities, and the deep-rooted traditions show how collective effort keeps life moving forward, even in isolation. Today, as modern roads and tourism slowly enter Ladakh, the region stands at a crossroads between preservation and change. Yet, despite these shifts, its essence remains untouched. A land where nature decides the rules and people continue to live in harmony with it. As we reach the end of this journey through Ladakh, what remains is not just the image of a cold desert or towering mountains, but a deeper understanding of resilience. This is a land where silence speaks louder than noise, and where every aspect of life is shaped by survival, patience, and adaptation. From ancient kingdoms to remote villages, from monasteries echoing with chants to fields tilled under extreme conditions, Ladakh tells a story that is both timeless and powerful. It is a reminder that life does not need abundance to be meaningful. It needs balance, respect for nature, and strength within simplicity. In a world moving rapidly toward modernity, Ladakh still holds on to its roots, quietly teaching lessons of endurance and harmony. And perhaps that is what makes it not just a place on the map, but a story worth listening to. If this journey through Ladakh gave you a deeper view of life, survival, and nature's extremes, then stay connected for more real and immersive documentaries like this. Subscribe to the channel for more untold stories from remote places around the world. And don't forget to turn on the notifications so you never miss the next.